there is a new Logan Paul. Logan Paul has become a podcaster, everybody. For real. And he's really taking it serious. You know, this is scary. I don't know exactly what's going on, but everyone's getting into podcasting now. Like, remember when all the comedians got into it? Okay. But now every YouTuber is getting into it, and I don't know why. Maybe they just need a change of pace, but it seems like there's something else going on. I think they found out they can get more ad money from a podcast. They could sell more merch and get more ad revenue from a podcast than they can a video, or maybe they're sick of editing these videos every day, which is really, think about it. You know, people think they could edit a video every day. Try doing that for a year. You're going to really hate editing. Editing is one of those things where it seems awesome at first. You're watching stuff come to life using your fingertips. You know, I went to film school. I was going to be an editor. That's what I fell in love with at film school, editing. And this was before you could do it on a personal computer. For real. Because we asked the school, I go, is there any way to edit at home? They go, not unless you got $20,000 and you could build an Avid machine setup. And I said, well, I can't do that. We had to edit in these giant suites, and they had rooms and rooms of towers of servers and computers to process all of this. Okay, and I was really into it. And then I remember it was like a couple years after I got out of film school, I started getting really sick of it. It became busy work. It became agitating to edit. And I think that's what happens with a lot of YouTubers, too. It's really fun at first, and then this editing just becomes a pain. But everyone's getting into podcasting. Logan Paul has gotten into podcasting. He's got a full video show. I'll show you what this looks like. And it's really odd. I want to get your eyes on this because I've noticed a few things. I got nothing to really show you today. But what I can tell you is that these guys are so stupid. You know, Logan Paul really is a sociopath, like they say. He really is nuts. He's almost scary nuts. And these guys are also stupid that they, when they're just sitting in front of microphones, you know, we've only seen them in edited video form, and that's pretty bad. But watching them in front of lit microphones for an hour and a half, 2 hours, they're saying things that they don't even realize. They don't even realize how dark and scary the things that they're saying are, and how revealing they are. I'll explain. It's like we're getting an inside look into what these guys are really up to. And I think you'd be surprised when you learn what these influencers really care about, what their plan is. And it wasn't any more shocking than it was with this Jojo Siwa episode. This was nuts here. So he's done 4 episodes so far, and I'll show you here. This is what it looks like. Do you know who Jojo?
Yo, what's good? My name is
Jojo Siwa is? She's this 15-year-old influencer. Who's Jojo Siwa?
All I know, I think she's like a vlogger for kids.
But she's huge,
super
right?
Famous. Yeah, she has.
So
like 10
in
million
this
subscribers.
episode here, she wears like a little bow on her head. Hold on, let me pull her up. She's nuts. She wears this bow on her head. She's this crazy cringe. She hates sex. She hates all this stuff. She wears a bow on her head. She's sold.
She hates.
She does. She's like anti-sex and anti. They've got her on this podcast.
I would hope so.
She wears this bow, and she reveals on this podcast that she sells these on her websites. She sold 40 million bows this year. 40 million to her fans. So this is blowing up under our eyes. This is like Tekashi 6ix9ine levels.
It's actually creepy to listen to her because she's like, oh, yeah, I'm just a brand. I'm not even a person.
Yes.
I'm like SpongeBob.
Yeah,
but in
so
live
this
action.
is what's creepy about this show. And I know you guys know this stuff, but to hear people talk about themselves like this, let's just play it and you'll see. Before we do this, I want to show you what's weird. He's got this podcast. He built this studio. Wait till you see the studio. He built this in his house. He said he spent $90,000 on the studio. The studio is garbage. The video quality is really bad. It's worse than this. His first episode is advice from a sexpert. He's got a sex expert on the show discussing sex, really gory stuff. The second episode of his show is a full interview with Jojo Siwa, a 15-year-old YouTuber who only has 9-year-old fans. So you start watching this show and then you're like, okay, Jojo's on it. Great. Let's see the other episodes. Oh, gory sex details. The third episode, right after the kids all see Jojo Siwa, they're subscribed. Then they watch Summer Rae talk about her ass for an entire episode. And then the fourth episode, too, was a lot of adult content. So really weird how they're mixing this. They want all the kids viewing it, and then they hit the kids with adult content the next day. Seems really, really odd. So let's watch this episode here with her, and you'll hear just a little bit about how kooky this broad is. And I'm telling you, some real dark stuff revealed on this podcast. Let's give it a little look-see here.
Right now? For our incredible guest. Again, guys, this person is a superstar. If you have not heard of her, you have at least seen her. And if you have not heard of her, I guarantee by the end of this podcast,
you're about to.
You will be a fan of Jojo Siwa.
Let's go.
Welcome to Impulsive, Jojo. Welcome.
Look at her.
What's up?
How's it going? Let me get here.
Oh yeah. So we actually we dressed up.
This is like how I felt the first time hearing about Tekashi 6ix9ine. It's like all of a sudden you hear about him, but you're 50 million people too late, and you're going, what the fuck? Like, what happened here? How did this guy blow up right under our nose here without us knowing?
We need to get inside more teen communities.
I don't get it. So this girl is like the biggest thing ever right now. And I don't know if you're like me at home. This is the first time I've ever seen her. Was just the other day. I had no idea. I heard during Halloween, I know like a few people dressed up like her for Halloween. That's when I first heard this name.
Tana.
Jojo Siwa. Siwa. It's like John Cena. And I have no idea who she is. She's flat as a board. Okay, nothing there for Kumia. She's got nothing there for Kumia. Look at this.
This is
nothing there.
Kumeric.
Nothing there. She's anti-sex, and she's totally about the brand. You need to hear her talk because they're getting worse every year. You know, Disney stars back in the day, they were the same way, right? Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, these people, Amanda Bynes. But at least they hid the fact that they were business women, kind of. They didn't like openly discuss numbers with their fans and how much they sell and all their brand deals. You know, it was happening, but it was supposed to look organic. Not anymore. Now the cool thing is to just be completely open about your business dealings, and you're going to see, watch this girl talk. She's 15, flat as a fucking board, got nothing there, and listen to what she says here.
In Jojo Siwa form, if you want to take a look. We're all wearing
you all got your outfits on.
tutus and
got
the shoes.
freaking unicorn.
I gotta say,
slippers
I love
on.
it. It looks good.
I mean, we don't go halfway here.
No, you go full out.
That's
You go
right.
full out. I
That's
like that
right.
about
That's
you
right.
guys.
Yeah.
All these guys are like complete scumbags who like bump up and grind on women at the clubs. Like every one of Logan's co-hosts is like a backwards snapback hat wearing like guy who kind of DJs. He wears a long chain.
They're date rapists.
Yeah, they like you could tell that when they're in the club, they're bothering a handful of women, right? Every night too. They're those type
The
of
guy
guys.
on the left.
If
is
you've
the
ever
worst.
watched like a music video for a DJ, like a low budget music video for a DJ on YouTube, they've always got a sea of these types of guys hanging out like at an LA house, right? All drinking and hanging out by the pool, right? So yeah, that's what Logan Paul's podcast, all these co-hosts are like. And then he brings in this 15-year-old girl.
So check us out. Jojo, how old are you?
I am 15. 15
Wow.
and a half.
And if I were to ask you how you describe yourself or what you do on the internet, and I know this is a tough question, what would you say for the people who aren't familiar with Jojo Siwa?
So what I do on the internet is I create YouTube videos. I film my life every day and upload it. I do Jojo's Juice. But then I also have the side of me that is not just a YouTuber, that is also a brand. So like I am literally...
Wow. This is coming out of this person's mouth. Can you believe this? Look at this thing. It's decorated. It's wearing these goofy clothing with these kids stickers, unicorns and hearts and treble clefs. What the fuck is a treble clef? Because she likes music? Music notes on her shirt with this bow and this side ponytail. This is a bit too much. This is the Tekashi 6ix9ine of the children's world. I gotta say, Tekashi 6ix9ine is a societal parody of what's going on. It almost is. It's like Tekashi 6ix9ine is like if you pull up like one of his music videos so we could show people. One where he's got like that crazy colored hair, like a newer one, not one with Nicki, like where he's out on where he really looks stupid. I don't remember being here during the transition period of working up to this level of goofiness. I just remember my eyes blinking and them appearing. And now Tekashi 6ix9ine is like an accepted guy hanging out with black gang members. These gang guys, since when did gang guys want to hang out with this colorful Mexican drag queen? What does he have to offer to these people? His voice also is like a parody. It's like if you were making a movie of this crazy, out-of-control rapper guy. You know, he makes the character Alien in Spring Breakers seem like chill and normal, right? You know, we were just saying that about Riff Raff. Tekashi makes Riff Raff seem like a normal guy. Look at this. This is really out of control. Shout out to Tekashi did release his album. I know, be the boy. Yeah, let's see this. Here he is, and it's so over the top. It's like if you were making a movie about an over the top crazy rap guy. Well, that's why people like him. Yeah, but it's like if you were making a movie about it and the writers were out of touch and they this is what they think a crazy rap guy is. You know what I mean? It seems so distant from what's really going on. Let's see.
Going and you rocking with Take Money Promotion. Hey, Take Money Promotion. Give them that new shit, no fool shit. Oh yeah, let's go.
Now, I want the one where his hair is fully down and he's like outside in front of like all those black gangsters. Video. Is that it? Yeah, send that because you got to see when he's. Yeah, this one is just him in a car. It's tough to see. But the one, with all these black guys, how do you trick all these black fellas into thinking you're cool? Wouldn't they just be like, man, this dude's gay? Is this it here? Yeah. Thank you. Starting to fall for the spell. But his voice is, and I'm wondering, like, are all the young people who were into this, did they totally miss, because they weren't around for the ICP era. I wasn't even really around. You weren't even really around for it. So maybe they're just living it for the first time. Whereas people my age were like, ooh, this sounds really cringe as fuck. It sounds like late 90s rock rap, that really went out of style. But maybe if you didn't listen to late 90s rock rap, you didn't go through that whole thing and you're just hearing it for the first time. It's like when we were first exposed to it, it was lit. Limp Bizkit and all that stuff. So now this kind of has like a cheap ass vibe feel to a guy like me. It's reminding me of times of the past. But maybe if you're brand new and you didn't hear any of that stuff, this is like, just like the first time we all heard Limp Bizkit. It wasn't necessarily cringe right out the gate, back then. They like this guy. This is what I just don't get. Like, seriously, like, there was no transition from being like a black rapper to this. He just appeared like this, right? Yeah, who was like the first SoundCloud rapper guy to get big? Was it Tekashi? I don't know. And why are they all Mexican now? Like, they're all Mexican and they all kind of look white. Diego,
Torn,
Lil Xan.
Can you explain this to us?
All these people. You know, why is this the cool thing? You would think that the Bloods would be like, get the fuck out of here, you little queer. What are you doing? So I would say that this Jojo Siwa is almost, it's over the top. It's completely over the top. They're dressed up, again, like a movie character would play this role. You know, so let's hear her speak. She's the Tekashi of the kid world.
Really, like, brands license me in a way, and like I have merchandising in literally every store, and I'm signed with Nickelodeon, and also I do music, and I'm going on tour. So like I'm kind of a mix between a Nickelodeon star, a pop star, a YouTuber.
It's easier if you just say like I do it all.
And it's so normal to them to speak this way, which I don't like. This Instagram sell yourself culture has normalized this behavior where you're just a brand. And they all refer to themselves as brands now. And they all just, everything is marketing, everything is numbers, everything is selling something, and there's no more shame in it anymore. We were looking at Instagram yesterday, and did you know you can now buy verified badges? You know, like they have verified badges on Twitter, the little check mark there. You could buy those on Instagram now from certain sites. And we were reading this article about it, and we looked into it, and then we see all this other stuff that you could do. And I'm thinking, I go, if you're a person like this who has no shame, you consider yourself a brand, and this is all that matters to you, no doubt they're spending their whole day working on this. Like, imagine this. Imagine you wake up in the morning and just spend the entire day trying to boost your Instagram numbers. And then you do that every day for a year using all the tricks. Reading all these articles and using all these different sites to boost your numbers. After a year of doing that, you're going to have some success. You're going to have big numbers. And what I'm starting to see is almost everybody who does have big numbers is doing this shit. And if it's that not them doing it, it's their managers doing this shit. And their managers have it all set up. We were talking about this on the last show, right? With the, what was that about on the last show with the schemes and the tricks that they must be doing, where it's like an infinite amount of YouTube views. It was something like that. And it's the same way with Instagram and all this stuff. So if you consider yourself a brand, if you have no shame, what's stopping you from just working at that 24/7, you know, and then making the money off those numbers? This is what they're doing. Let's hear a little bit more. I find her startling. This is the new Chucky.
I mean, you shouldn't be coming out and saying, I'm a brand.
I know, right?
This.
I'm a brand. I am a Nickelodeon star. I'm worth $40 million.
People have been saying that for years, but coming from like a kid,
it's really hard to watch.
Like, is every kid that's just ingrained in them now?
That's what I mean. It's being normalized to the point where they're looking at themselves as brands, and they're all in competition with each other. So all these people on Instagram, all they care about is that number. And if their number isn't as high as the person next to them, they're going to spend all day in bed getting that number up. And that's where I think these people live. It's this number boosting lifestyle that they have. And they're constantly just trying to get that number higher and higher. All right, let's hear a little bit more from the new Chucky.
Star, a pop star, a YouTuber.
It's easier if you just say like I do it all.
Yes.
I'm Jojo Siwa and I do it all.
Well, here's why this is interesting.
And here's the thing though. They're also really bad. They're also crap. It's like this phenomenon, you know, that they do this. And here's the other thing too. When we were kids, remember, there weren't many shows. Okay, remember the Saturday morning cartoon lineup followed by, you know, and then after that, you'd have Saved by the Bell or maybe California Dreams. That's where I lived. It'd be all the cartoons. It seemed like there were about 100 A-list cartoons on every Saturday morning. You don't see this anymore, but on every major channel, it was stressful as a kid because you were jumping. Every time there was a commercial break, you jump from 5 to 7 to 2 to 9 to 32 because there was so much cartoon action going on. You didn't want to miss any of it. You know, it was hard to figure out which channel to stay on. thinking back, there was rarely a show that they presented to me as a kid that I didn't like, right? Rarely a cartoon that I didn't like, as long as it was on TV and put in front of me and presented to me as something I should watch as a kid. I loved it. There were very few cartoons where I'm like, nope, not for me. Not a good one. So when you present Jojo Siwa to a kid, they're just going to like it. They like anything that's presented to them and catering to them and talking to them, okay? So whoever kind of gets in front of all these kids first is going to be huge. And I find that a little dangerous when, at least back then, you had an entire network, you had editors, you had writers, you had professional people, okay? It took you a long time. You had to have a long professional career until you got to work on the Smurfs. They weren't hiring 22-year-old interns from LA to work on Smurfs. Okay, the Smurfs, that was a professional crew. Artists, story writers. These men were probably in their 70s. They worked their whole life to be able to have a mainstream show like the Smurfs. So it was at the very least better for your kid to sit in front of and watch all day, okay? It had to be. But now Jojo Siwa from her bedroom flicks on the camera, and because of a strike of good luck, she got to these kids first somehow, and that's good enough for them. And then she blows up, and now the kids are just following her every move. And is it good that the kids are hearing, I'm a brand, I'm worth $40 million, I'm a Nickelodeon star, and I am going to be bigger, I'm going to take over the whole world? Is that really what all these kids should be thinking about? Becoming brands? I don't know.
She is not lying. So there's truth in all of this.
Everything.
In my JoJo research, you are quite honestly one of the most 360-degree influencers
Crazy.
I think I've ever seen.
Crazy.
Thank you.
Wow. And this excites them. All these people, and this is what I was trying to show you guys. This is what I was trying to tell you guys. They get excited by this. They're not, no humiliation here. You are the most 360-degree influence. Oh, I would dream to monopolize the market like that. That's their dream. They need it all. They need to crush it in every avenue, TV, movies, music. Why? Why do they need to dominate every form of entertainment? And it's not good entertainment. It's just crap. They're churning it out. Within 25 minutes, they film these things and throw them up. Seriously. There's no thought. It's just get it up, keep the kids watching us. Keep the kids watching us. That's the only goal. Let's hear some more.
Yeah.
And you're 15
Yes.
and a half. And a half.
Can't forget about the half.
Shout out to the team behind JoJo Siwa
Yes.
as well.
Shouts.
Like her number one, but like also at the same time, like Mama.
This is the worst guy. That's the guy. This is Logan Paul's sidekick. He's the guy who gives the girls all the trouble. I guarantee every night Logan's got to pull him off while he's raping someone, you know. And then he has to pay off. Logan's got to pay off the girl.
I bet
and
we're
then
going
he
to see him again.
hits
on
him in the back of the head. What are you doing? You're going to get me killed here.
He's going to do something on this podcast.
This
I
guy's
can
the
feel
worst
it.
because he's ugly. He was never meant to be in the spotlight, but he knows Logan Paul, you know. So you could see him at the clubs when Logan, like him and Logan walk up to a big group of girls. They're all excited. Then Logan walks away and they're just left with him. And he's like, so what's up, ladies? Who wants to fuck tonight? You know, he's bad. Everyone knows a guy like him. Every high school had a guy like him, didn't they?
Oh,
With that
yes.
nose.
Many.
How many guys are like him? Every one of you out there knows one of him right there. What's his name? Scott. I had a guy, his name Scott Kaplan. He was, you know, and they've got cousins. They have all got cousins who beat people up, right? That's what they. So yeah, there was a guy like him in
They
my
play
high school.
hockey. If this was Canada,
Yeah.
they play hockey
Yeah,
for sure.
terrible guys, always, you know, doing something mean. Okay, and here's Jojo Siwa. Let's watch them talk. I find this to be really interesting here.
Mama Siwa.
Oh, my mom is
Wow.
incredible.
Tell
Legend.
us about your mom and her fostering your career.
No, literally, my mom is the most amazing human I've ever met. We've been like working towards this, me and her, since I was literally 2 years old.
I don't like
she
that.
was my dance teacher in the beginning. Like, she's the one who's pushed me. She's the one who's been like, no, you got this. Like, you can do this. Like, never give up on yourself. You know, we did our first TV shows together. So I was on
Okay,
Abby's
that's the most ridiculous cup to drink out of. Logan Paul just pulled out one of those giant gallon It's like a water bottle that's meant to look like the water tank for one of those Henkley and Schmidt
Yeah.
Water coolers, and he just
Culligan.
pulled that out and took a giant. It's like a thing, holds like a gallon of water, and he's drinking from that on the show.
He's a boxer.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to hydrate, right?
Dance competition first, and then I was on Dance Moms, Lifetime's #1 show, and so like me and my mom were on that together, which is crazy.
Crazy. Shout out to all the moms out there
Yes.
too.
Amazing.
I just moved here from LA too, and I miss my mom. Already.
Yeah. Well,
Wait, you're in LA.
Sorry, I just moved to LA. I apologize.
you're making him nervous.
I just moved to. I am. I'm fanboying. I'm generally pretty nervous as always, but man,
And these guys always have like black eyes. Like they look like they've always, they just got in a fight last weekend. They've always got, you could see his eyes all busted up. These guys are getting in tremendous fights at these clubs.
Well, listen, because
right
we love you, Jojo.
Thank you.
Your content is so authentic and genuine, and I can tell you really like what you're doing.
I do. I love it. And that's like one of the things that makes me who I am. Like people see this kid who's doing a music video about a kid in a candy store and she's wearing a hair bow and rainbow colors and eating candy. And they're like, that's not real. That's a character. But like at the end of the day, like I've been here hanging out with you guys. Like you guys know, like this is me. Like this is who I am. This is what I do. Like it's my life. And like I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Did you say you do daily vlogs?
Yes.
Every day.
Yes.
How long has that been going on?
It's about I'm actually probably getting close to 600 days.
Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah.
That's
You beat me.
longer than Logan.
How long did you go for?
I did 460.
Really disgusting stuff here, man. But disgusting enough where you kind of want to keep watching and watching. I've found little secrets in here. I'm going to keep watching the show. I don't care if you guys don't watch it. I'm going to keep watching for you because I'm learning things. I'm finding little secrets here and there. And I think these secrets will give me the tools I need to open the doors to other realms. Okay? Impulsive.
They're going to accidentally admit things.
They
that
do
don't
admit
realize
things.
are
We've
bad.
already seen it. I wish I would have saved some of that. We've already seen it. So that's impulsive.